Hello Capricorns, welcome to or welcome back to Timsy Naked Tarot. If you are a regular viewer, if you are new here, then welcome to the tarot team and I hope you enjoy the read. Okay, talking about the read, we are doing a work or career read for you today. And don't worry, I know that some of my viewers get up into the age of 60, 65 plus. Even if you are at that age, even if you are retired from work, you still have a role in society. You still have a job. Even if it's just taking your pension and going and supporting the local shop, that's your job. Looking after your grandchildren while your children can go to work, that's your job. Okay, so it all comes into play. So it doesn't matter if you're too old, too young, have a job or not. This will be how the universe sees if you're working input into the world. Okay, this all spans off of the full moon in Capricorn, your sign. All signs overview are done, and for that you had the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is it's an energy of independence. It's an energy of freedom. It's an energy of in the realms of work and finances, if you will. The energy of being retired. So I feel for a few of you, you are retired or you are looking at retiring very soon and wondering what you're going to do with all this newfound time and stuff that you have. Well, let's have a look. So the way we'll do the energies today is just here is we're going to have your current energies of what is going on in your working life at the moment. Just there is going to be your future energies of what's going on in your working life at the moment. And just here from the bottom of the deck, we're going to get the energies from the bridging energies. What's the sort of transitional stage, if you will. So we got the Three of Swords. That's pain, sorrow, if you will. Yeah, the way that translates is maybe you're being forced to retire. Maybe you've hit that ripe old age and you don't want to stop. You just want to keep going. I get it. I understand it. I've talked about, like, if I've won the lottery and I stopped work, I think I probably managed to handle about 6 months before I'll be looking for something else to do. Okay. Although I do have my tarot reading, I could just concentrate on that more. So we've got the Nine of Swords coming out as well, which is an energy of being unsure and anxious and not really knowing what's going on or why it's going on. So oh, there you go. That could be your future energy. Not sure what's going on. Not sure what to do with yourself. Okay, so we have our current energy, which is Justice. We'll have our future energy, which is the Seven of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, and we'll keep that hidden for now until we talk about the bridging energies, we have got another card. Okay, so we got Justice for your current energies. Now, for some of you, you may be working in the law firms, you may be working in the court systems, you may even be a judge dishing out justice. If you are, let me know. Let me know in the comments what you do for a living. Okay, we'll see how good this is getting on the mark. For others of you where you're not in anything like that, it's just justice. Okay, it's just like balancing. Is like you've worked hard to get to where you are, and now you're starting to think about getting your just desserts and things. It's justice that after you've worked for a certain place for a certain amount of time, you have to stop working and move on. Or it's justice that when you have worked your finger to the bone and done as much overtime as you possibly been. Yes, I've done a bit of overtime today, and that's why I'm talking like that. And if you've done as much overtime as possibly you can, then it's justice that you can retire earlier. Okay, it's just okay. So we got the Eight of Cups. Or walking away. Yeah. Okay, walking away from what? Walking away from something what's not working generally. Or if you come to the end of your shelf life in your career, walking away from work. And remember, shelf lives in careers can be different for everyone. If you are in a high labor, high intensive physical job, and you tend to be burnt out a lot quicker than someone who, I don't know, flicks through books and reads and edits. Okay, it's yeah, it takes a lot out of you. So this again, this might be for any age. It might be that you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s and you're looking to retire. Okay, but it might be that you're a footballer in your 30s and you're looking to retire, which means this is quite important. It's like what's next for you. Okay, so we're walking away from something. The Seven of Swords in reverse as well, and the Seven of Wands. The Seven in Swords in reverse. I feel this is not so much you're walking away from something, you're forced from something. Okay, with that Seven of Swords in reverse. The Seven of Swords in reverse is like talking about the other side of the Seven of Swords, the tricky side, the trickster side, the naughty side, the robbery side, the theft side, all that. It's like this has been snatched away from you. You might not want to stop what you're doing. If you're 30 and you're playing football, you might think you've got another good 5 or 6 years in you. But whoever you're playing for at the moment is saying, no, you might have 5 or 6 years, but not with us. Goodbye. Okay? So it's like that. And with the Seven of Wands coming out at the end of that is like you're kind of fighting for it. You're trying to hold on to it. It's not the Four of Pentacles. It's not a holding on energy, but it is fighting for your corner, fighting for what you believe is right, fighting the impossible, fighting the inevitable. Because I am drawn to the fact that we've got this tiny, tiny, tiny little character right in the middle of the card fighting a giant. Okay, he believes the giant shouldn't be there. He's fighting the giant. He's trying to save whatever from the giant. Okay, so let's have a look at what's crossing this. We got the Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay, and it's just, look, he's bent over. He's hunched over. Let's have a look at that the right way up. Yeah, he's bent over. He's hunched over. He's doing a strenuous job, and that's what I feel for the most of you. This is. It's a job where it takes its toll on you. It's a job where you might have to finish earlier in life for this particular job than you would normally, and be it the fact that you're just losing the edge, losing the speed. You know, maybe you're a fighter pilot and you're losing that reaction time. I don't know. But again, you don't feel it as a burden. You feel it as a joy. Okay? Imagine if you are a fighter pilot for a second, or a footballer, or I don't know, a professional darts player. You're doing it because you enjoy it, aren't you? It's like not just your job of your dreams. It's your life, and it's not a burden for you to. Yes, he might look all hunched over and struggling with his burden of sticks there, but it's what he does every day. Okay, I understand what I'm trying to tell you here. It's like, I work with wood. I can lift up 5-meter planks of wood, 3x8 thick, okay, by myself. I can swing them around. I can move them from one place to another. I can dump them on a table, and then I can cut them down into whatever I want to cut them down into. I can take sheets of ply, lob them around like they're, okay, not bits of paper. I'm not quite as that young anymore, but I can lob them around like they're not really as heavy or as awkward as they look, because it's something I've always done. Yeah. Now, if I pick up other things, if I pick up like a similar weight length of metal than the bit of wood, I struggle like hell with it. And if I try to pick up like a door and something was not quite the normal thing I normally carry around when I'm at work, I struggle like hell with it. It's like I can't find the right grip. I can't find a comfy place to hold it. But give me wood, give me ply, I can shove it around all day long and I don't even break a sweat. And that's what this is. This is the crossing card. That's what's driving it. You still feel capable and competent of doing it all, but there's someone else or something else pushing you to give it all up. Okay, so let's have a look at this Seven of Cups, this future for your career. Bearing in mind, for some of you, this is justice again. This is the fact that you might be getting forced out of work. You might be retiring. It might just literally be you're getting forced out because of age. So we got Justice coming out here. We got the Nine of Swords, which we saw in the cut. And we have got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, so the Seven of Pentacles is all about the choices, being able to do something, choosing whatever you want to do. Okay, maybe you've always wanted to take up, I don't know, fly fishing. Maybe you've always wanted to travel the country you live in. Okay, from coast to coast, north to south, however it is. And it's in there. It's in the options of what you can do as your career if you are being forced into retirement or being forced out of a situation and you're getting a good payout because of it. For others of you, it is just literally, okay, what the hell do I do now? Okay, the world is my oyster. I can do anything I want. Obviously, I can do the job I want to do, which is kind of like the Justice there. There are other choices for you in the same thing you have been doing. Okay, like for instance, where I work, if I get fired, well, I could go and work for a local hardware store and I can still be moving sheets of ply around and still be moving lumps of wood and cutting them to size for customers and things. Yes, it might be a different place and it might be slightly different to what I'm used to, but it's still basically the same work. And there's many different places that I could go and do that at. Okay, I could actually go back to my roots and become a wood machinist again if I really, 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 really wanted to. No, I couldn't. I can't work in a factory again. Anyway, so then we have got the Nine of Swords, the anxiety of it all. But the Nine of Swords out of the Viking deck. I'm using the Viking deck, by the way. You may have noticed. I use the Viking deck for when I'm doing things like financial reads, work reads, or current affair type reads. Normally in association with my Game of Thrones deck, which I reserve just for current affairs. But I use this for clarifying in various different reads like that. Okay, so in this particular deck, these 9 swords are pointing towards this altar and the ghost which is upon it. And you know it's a ghost on it because just here at her knee, come on, I'll tell you what, screenshot it, zoom it out, you can see that the altar, the altar actually goes through the image there. So this is a ghost. This is something which is long dead. Okay, and the anxiety is, in this particular case, is coming to an end. These 9 swords are going into your sacrificing this thing from the past. Okay, so this is indicating for some of you, you might literally be cutting ties with the old job. And again, that could be justice. I've learned as much as I can now, and it's time to move on to something else, and it's justice because it is. Okay, so this is bringing it to the end, bringing whatever it is to an end. But this is you accepting it and you bringing it to an end. With the Queen of Cups coming out at the end here, your future job you may not love, you may not enjoy, you may not particularly like very well, and you probably won't really talk to anyone about it. It's kind of like I'm just gonna suck it. Okay, let's just see if I can see this out until my twilight years when I've got enough money to actually retire. And again, if you are retiring, let me know in the comments if you are retiring. Then this is kind of like the energy of I'm bored. I don't want to be doing this. I want to be up doing something, but apparently I can't because I'm told I'm too old and feeble, and it's too much of a burden to do all that stuff for someone my age. I know my own body. I should know. They should let me choose when to retire, not force me into it. Okay, let's see what's crossing this. Oh, fucking, it's all too much of a burden. It's our 10 of Wands again in reverse. So it's literally the same sort of thing. Okay, it's whatever you start doing next, you start to get used to carrying it. Okay, you start shifting it around, moving it around. Like I said, you might not be in the same job as you are now, but you will sort of kind of find yourself within the options, a job where you can be doing exactly the same as what you were doing, just for a different place, a different person, for a different type of thing. Okay, perhaps you're currently working for a company that builds sheds, and You then go and work for a drywall company which puts up dry walls, and it's still moving sheets of timber and stuff around, sheets of ply, plasterboard, or whatever you call it in your country. There you go. What do you call it in your country? They're sort of like the white chalky board which you use to make partition walls in houses. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing. You'll get used to it. You start lugging it around. Oh, look, there's another card. It wants to show us another card. Okay. The Eight of Wands. Okay. And it's moving forward, driving forward. Okay. So let's see the bridging energy here. It's kind of like what's going to help or hinder it, I suppose. The Seven of Swords. Oh, we've got the Seven of Swords out already. Okay, here. The bridging energy is the push. Okay, perhaps you had no intention of ever leaving the company you're working for. You were going to see it out until the bitter end. You had no intention of actually leaving, but you're pushed. Because that's what that was here. Is that pushing, forcing you out. Okay. Oh, look, it's the Fool. You're getting a new start, and the Fool is in reverse. You're getting a new start, but you don't particularly want it. Okay. The Four of Pentacles. And I said that down here. I said this is a hanging on energy. Here it is coming out here. And we have got the Queen, the Ace of Cups coming out. Fuck, I just had a look. You would not believe what's crossing this. Again. It's the Ten of Wands in reverse crossing this again. Okay. Jesus, that's crossed all 3 times. And just to prove it is different, there you go. It's got a different secondary energy underneath it. But it's still kind of like movement. It's kind of like movement. Okay, so we'll put that just there for a second. Okay, let's deal with this. Yes. So we've got the Fool card. Yeah, you're being pushed. The bridging energy is literally you're being pushed onto the bridge. You don't want to be pushed on the bridge. You don't want to start over. You don't want to start something new. Okay, you're trying to hang on to what you have. You're trying to argue your case and plead your case and tell everyone who will listen that you're not too old for this. I'm not too feeble for this. I'm not unsmart enough for this. That's an unsmart way of saying it, but hey ho, there you go. But ultimately, yeah, there is love. There is love for something else. You love it. There's the bridging energy there, I think. Or you start to become in love with the idea of not having to work for a while. Yeah, a break. You may not be thinking, oh, this is going to be a full-time thing, but you start to love the idea that I don't actually have to work for a while. We do have that Ten of Wands crossing here again then. Okay, and this Ten of Wands again, it's the burdens coming to an end, but it's an unwillingness to let go. It's in reverse when the King of when the Ten of Wands is the right way up. Yeah, yes, you're under stress and burdens at the moment, but the village isn't too far away. You're going to be putting your burdens down and you'll be able to enjoy a bit of rest and relaxation. But in this particular case, you don't want that. Okay, your rest and relaxation is getting away from the family and going to work. Or something like that, seeing all your work colleagues who you've spent more time with over the last 30 years than you have your spouse or family. Okay, so that's what that's about. But there is this kind of new love developing out of it. The arguments and the fight in your corner opens up some new love avenue. Okay, this could be people like seeing you in a different light and kind of falling in love with the new you, or it could be you finding something and falling in love with that and starting again. Now we have got the Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, which was the crossing card of that Ten of Wands, and the only reason I'm showing you that is because that time, yeah, it was the Eight of Wands, and this time it's the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight of Wands is like acting upon the truth, getting some sort of truthful message. Yeah, maybe you're getting pushed out of work and maybe you go and see the doctor, trying to argue your case, trying to hang on to the situation, and you find out that, oh, actually I have this, that and the other, and it will do good for me to get out of that particular environment and move on to something better. Okay, and that's the news you get, but it's not the news you want because it's in reverse again. Okay, so that is the end of your read. Hopefully it resonates with you. If it does resonate with you, why don't you think about hitting that thumbs up button and letting me know? Or alternatively, you can tap me up with a super thanks, okay, and let me know that you enjoyed this and it resonated with you by a super thanks. If you didn't like this video, you can give it a thumbs down. That's absolutely fine. Can you let me know in the comments what it was you didn't like about it, and then maybe I can put it right for you in future videos. Okay. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I strongly suggest that you do so. By doing so, you'll be adding your energies to the tarot team pot, which will make reads like this resonate with you on a more personal level in future. Until the next time you're watching one of my videos, you all have fun out there.